on the conflict between Israel and Gaza for you now. The Hamas Health Ministry says an Israeli artillery attack has killed at least 13 people in eastern Gaza City. More than 200 people are reported wounded and thousands have fled the area. The attack came shortly after the Israeli military announced it was expanding its operation in Gaza. Gaza officials say 386 Palestinians have been killed since Israel launched Operation Protective Edge. The Israeli military says Hamas has not stopped firing rockets from Gaza and is now infiltrating and attacking Israel through underground tunnels. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency says the number of Palestinians seeking shelter in Gaza exceeds 50,000. Christopher Gunness joins us live from Barcelona. He's the spokesman for the UNRWA. How much pressure are you under?
Enormous pressure. We have over 60,000, I can update you on that figure, who've taken sanctuary, displaced from the fighting in 49 UNRWA shelters. We are bringing emergency relief, food, water and sanitation. We're under huge pressure. We're also under huge financial pressure, which is why we have launched a $60 million appeal, a month of emergency operations once the guns fall silent, and then 3 to 6 months of recovery. That means shelter repair, that means psychosocial counselling for thousands of deeply traumatized people. So particularly children, so if people want to give, they can do so through unrwa.org, unrwa.org, or through my Twitter handle if you have any inquiries, at Chris Gunness. We hope that donor governments in particular will come forward, because unless we get the first tranche of that $60 million, our emergency relief will have to be curtailed. We'd budgeted for 35,000. We've now reached over 60,000. That's double that. For example, we may not be able to continue procuring mattresses. It sounds banal, but people coming in large droves to UNRWA installations under fire in Gaza need mattresses. So we need people to go to unrwa.org and give. We need people to contact me through my Twitter handle, at Chris Gunness. And we also need donor governments to come forward. It's urgently needed that we get these funds. We're leading the international response to the displacement in Gaza. We're leading the international humanitarian response, and we need funds.
Are your shelters currently full?
Yes, they are. They are absolutely full.
So you can't take any more people?
Well, we have more shelters. I mean, you have to understand that UNRWA is the largest and oldest UN organization in Gaza, and we run over 200 schools. Admittedly, many of those are on what we call double shifts, but in terms of actual school buildings, we have around 100, and I suppose we have the capacity to open them. What we need, though, is the funds. You cannot simply throw your facilities open and tell people to come. We need to be able to run them in an orderly fashion. These are schools that are built for 1,000 or so pupils during the day. They're being transformed into 24/7 shelters for desperate people. So there are sanitation problems that loom, and there are all sorts of other problems associated with this kind of emergency. So we need governments to come forward and individuals to come forward. As I said, they can donate through unrwa.org, unrwa.org.
We were hearing earlier how just today in eastern Gaza, many people are fleeing the area. The concern is that they haven't got somewhere to go. Are you concerned that you're going to have to close the door on people fleeing areas that are being hit if you don't get that money very soon?
UNRWA has always stood by its beneficiaries, the desperate, the needy, the sick, the elderly, the dying, and we are committed to doing exactly that. No, we have absolutely no intention of turning people away. There is a humanitarian imperative, a humanitarian obligation. We will absolutely stand by that, but we need the help of the international community in order to fulfill these enormous burdens that are now falling upon us.
OK, Christopher Gunness, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu speaks with CNN's Wolf